Hello younger older and welcome to my channel. Today's video is about the advantages of doing a little bit of winter riding, so watch the intro, stay tuned, and hope you find it interesting. As you may know, I'm a volunteer instructor, so I do tend to ride most of the year. I will not ride as probably as much as I would in the summer, but I still like to get the bike out and enjoy it. Granted, any ice or snow, just leave your bike at home. Don't even attempt to go out in it. I've been caught out twice now in snowstorms, and both times were absolutely horrific, and I don't want it to happen a third time. So if the weather's that bad, no, leave the bike in the garage. Now this is one of those nice winter mornings, and I know this bit of road well, and yes, as thought, there's a bit of mud and a bit of debris. I know there's a couple of like farm tracks along here and an aggregate distributor, so this road can be a little bit, as you can see now, just keeping to the left of the mud line down the centre of the road. Apart from that, the roads aren't too bad. But we all know, even in the winter, we get some nice sunny days. Yeah, it might be cold, the roads might still be a little bit wet, but it's perfectly safe to ride as long as you follow a few simple rules and make sure you dress accordingly. You know, the right clothing's important. I've got several jackets and they are different sizes. Some of them I had before I lost weight, but I've kept hold of those coats, and I can then basically put like a fleece underneath or an extra jumper to help try and keep me warm. Likewise with my trousers, I wouldn't wear a pair of Kevlar denims. I would wear something like my textile trousers, which are like a Gore-Tex, but they've got a thermal lining in. I can put a longer sock on. You can even wear long johns underneath it. You know, anything to sort of, keep you a little bit warmer for that winter ride. You can get all sorts of heated clothing now. Waistcoats, trousers, socks, boots, gloves, you name it, you can get heated versions. Yet they're quite expensive. I tend to not use those. I tend to have heated grips on my Triumph. They actually came with the bike anyway. But I wear a pair of inner gloves, and then I wear a good thick pair of winter gloves over the top. I'll also take a tank bag with me, and I'll carry a spare pair of gloves should it rain and I get a bit wet. I don't want to be riding with wet, cold hands, so it's just far easier to have a spare pair of gloves which I can put on, and it all helps to keep you a bit drier and a little bit warmer. It's not just about making sure you're kitted out correctly, you also need to just check that your bike is okay. It's no good if your tyres are a bit low on the tread, on the summer, even though it's the legal 1 mil limit. I personally, for winter riding, I like to have a little bit more tread on my tyres. The tread actually is designed to displace water, so the more tread you've got, the more water you're going to displace if the roads are a little bit wet or it's raining. So, make sure your tyres are good, correctly inflated, make sure you've got plenty of wear on your brakes, and just to make sure your bike is good and safe, before we actually go for a ride. I've known many people who never ride in any sort of winter or wet weather or anything like that, and the bike's tucked away in the garage and they're just sitting in the car all the winter with the heater on, and they've got all the 4x4 braking systems on the cars, etc. And then the first time they take the bike out, they either have an accident or a near one, and they don't believe me when I tell them you're basically just out of practice. By riding in the winter a little bit, it helps to keep you in tune with the bike. You should ride a bike like a rider. You do not ride a bike like a driver, and there's a big difference in that. Well, as you can see, the roads are just starting to dry up a little bit. At the same time, luckily we reach a national speed limit, so can open it up here a little bit and blow some of the cobwebs off. Yes, it may be cold, but it's better being here than stuck in home in front of the telly. As an instructor, I'm very keen on the topic of hazard perception. It's something I teach to the trainees, and it's something which I constantly practice my hazard perception skills. You know, they need to be even better in the winter than they would do in the summer. You know, because the roads aren't as good, we're going to need to be more careful with accelerating, braking and cornering. Just remember your ABC. It's just a lot better if you do practice more. Practice makes perfect, as they say. On a dry summer's day, you come into the bend, you're knocking some speed off as you should do, the correct way to go around the bend, and then you accelerate out of the bend. But in the winter, you would need to knock off a little bit more speed than you would do in the summer, because there could be mud on the road, leaves on the road, all sorts of anything really, which can cause the bike wheels to lose their grip. So at the end of the day, you've got to be a lot better with your hazard perception skills than you would do if you purely ride in the summer. So to sum up, just don't wait till the summer to get your bike out. When you can, get out for a ride in the winter. Practice your hazard perception. Learn to corner smoothly. If you can do it in the wet and not such good road conditions, it'll be a lot better in the dry. It's enjoyable. It's still to get out there. I say it's better than just sitting in. Just wrap up warm, make sure your bike's good, and go out there and enjoy it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do, please tick subscribe would be nice. Leave any comments below. And I'll say this once again, ride safe and bye for now.